That's something you'll love to see if you're head coach Kevin Tompkins of the Redbirds. Only in his second year coaching the Redbirds, but man, he has got over 18 years of experience in coaching, even playing some junior puck in Canada. It's Nebraska trying to escape their own end here in the final 5 minutes of the second period. Pressed along the wall is Scochet as Beach trying to spin away. Jackson Beach, one of the guys Nebraska needs to create some offense here. Drop back to the blue line, fed over Lucius, Stadler rips it, glove save made. Lenhart had it cleared away. Shot again for the blue line, tipped in the chest of Lenhart. This one back to the blue line, Scochet. Fed over, it's Brandenburg. Numbers for the Redbirds. Chipped back for the Huskers. Here comes Jackson Beach. Beach walks in, feed over, Lucius can't get the one-timer. Beach again, shot, save made again by Lenhart. Beach one more time. Great job on the stick lift back to the blue line. Pate towards goal, just off. Had Stadler backdoor blue line, tip from Holderfield, shot wide. Pate sent around towards goal, a pad save from Lenhart. Scochet pressed up the wall away from Decker. Cleared back to the Illinois State end as Nebraska goes off for the line change. Up the wall and off the stick. This one shipped near the blue line. Leroy fighting for possession and cleared away from danger as Max Montevallo and the Redbirds tried to create another goal. A great chance for Holderfield though, feeding Leroy. Leroy, a lot of sticks on him, deflects it off the pad. Delayed penalty upcoming. Nebraska's gonna go back onto the power play as we get a hooking call against the Redbirds.
Leroy is one of those key players that the Nebraska team has. He can play anywhere on this ice. He is more focused on that forward side, but he can play that defensive side, and he has shown he can. And he is such a well-rounded player in all aspects on the ice.
Nebraska once again on the power play here tonight. Beach, Leroy, Lucius, Stadler, and Merritt, the 5 out for the Scarlet and Cream. Beach against Rindock in the circle, wins it over for Lucius. Fed back to him from Stadler. Going to Beach along the wall. Jackson Beach down low, Lucius. Fed over, backdoor one-timer, save made by Lenhart. This one cleared away by Kuzmano all the way down for Morgan. Morgan will leave it for Stadler instead, who leaves it for his man in Lucius. Excuse me, that was Zach Merritt losing a handle, but still with it all the way, losing the handle to Gonzalez. Fought for right near the blue line. Gonzalez trying to chip it out. Does go back to neutral ice here for Jackson Beach. Watch out for the speedy sophomore as he feeds to Merritt, gets a return feed in stride. Here comes Jackson Beach all the way. Beach couldn't get his shot off. Recovers, Beach fed up. Here is Lucius, shot towards goal, denied. Kuzmano right there, Beach recovers the rebound. Great cycle for Nebraska. Lucius, backdoor feed, denied by Lenhart. Here is Gonzalez as the Redbirds kill just over a minute on this Husker power play. The final 45 ticking away in the penalty to Montevallo. It is Beach faking the drop pass. Couple of stutter steps, feed to Leroy, trying to go back to Beach here behind the net. Jack Mitchell right there as he gets tangled up with Beach. Weber going in to crash along the wall against Fisk. Beach, feed back to the blue line. Merritt just off the tape of his stick and out. Nebraska has to hurry. The final 20 seconds of the power play. Leroy with some room. Samuel Leroy trying to go all the way from the blue line. He'll go to the circle. Leroy chips it around, loses the handle. This one cleared all the way out to neutral ice. Losing in the final seconds, ticking off the power play for Nebraska. As Illinois State back at full strength, it's Decker trying to cut around his man. He got it taken away and shipped back to Losing at neutral ice. This one flipped on goal. Lenhart couldn't glove it down. Mitchell, Husker on him is Brickle. Weber's gonna skate into this one near the blue line, fed down low, Brickle off the tape of his stick. Back up again for Carlson, leaving it for Weber around. Decker gonna meet his man in the corner, and Mitchell Trying to spin away is Decker. Back to the blue line. A shot that just bounces away. Back to Decker. Fire, score! Second of the night for Lakin Decker.
Those one-timer shots from Lakin Decker are what he dominates in. He finds that top left corner of that net so perfectly clear and right over the
Keep feeding that hot hand if you're Nebraska. What a job the freshman has done. One of those guys coming from out of state, from Minnesota, and he is starting to find his groove. In the final minute and 4 seconds left, Nebraska has tied it back up at 2 as the officials heading over to the bench to discuss something with Reed Fuller here. And then we'll now head over to the bench of Kevin Tompkins. We will get back to live action. But now Lakin Decker on hat trick watch as Whitehill struggling in the faceoff. Kicked ahead by Carlson. It is Zorn in his own end, flipped up ahead. Brandenburg can't cleanly corral it. As Carlson lays into his man, Zorn cross-iced him on Avalo. Topol sending a bouncing buck back in deep. Zorn fought for Whitehill, pressures him into the wall. Topol pressures his man, and now the Redbirds can't escape. Up for Brandenburg and off the mark. Holderfield off the wall and out of the zone. Zorn chips it in deep. Morgan leaving it for Holderfield. As now he looks for an outlet. Carlson tried to go up the wall. He'll get it right back. Carlson will chip it in. Lenhart in a dangerous area, a lot of people around him. This one back out to neutral ice. Greg Pate will recover for Nebraska. A couple of substitutions for both sides. Montevallo gets blown up, almost in a bad place to turn the puck over. But that will do it for the second period. It's a driving attempt from Boa Boy as she leaned in with the left shoulder, trying to back off one of the Griffins. A whistle called there. She won't get away with that. It's French on the inbound.
Yeah, she dropped the shoulder and took some contact, and as she did, she walked. And turnover number 16 there on Bennington.
The Griffins bring it up the floor and pass it across the timeline into the left corner, returned as they go around with French. Now to the right wing, a 3 on the way. That connects. 31-21 Bennington.
And finally, it took 11 tries, but the Griffins finally knock down a 3 and get back within 10 points.
Boa Boy feeds through 2 Griffins now. Left wing corner. Driving back to the wing. It's down to the top for Boa Boy, who walks with a right-hand dribble towards the right wing. She steps back, and she's guarded by Frederick. Still at that right wing as she goes further down to Jackson. As Jackson goes back to the top here. A couple of good dribbles, kicks it into the corner. Inside, John feeds, a layup no good. Redmond couldn't get it to the rim. As the Griffins come down with a rebound. Now charging ahead is Shelburne. Kicks it, trifecta from the left wing. Corner is good! (31-24) Gretna East. A whistle blown right after that 3 sinks right through the nylon.
All of a sudden, Gretna East raining it from behind the arc. They started 0 of 10 from 3. They're 2 of their last 2, and they've cut it to a 7-point game.
Inbound coming again from Jackson here on the baseline, right on the left side of that Huskers H. She bounce passes it into Reiner, who drives down the right side. She gets tripped up in the process. The whistle blown. The entire Griffins bench wants a travel, but Bennington just barely got the timeout off.
Smart timeout there by John O'Connor. He knew that their players were trapped in the corner, and he got the timeout off to avoid a turnover.
Just the leadership these two teams have. John O'Connor, again, a very smart timeout there as Reiner was driving down the sideline, and she fell down, guarded by 2 Griffins. That press is really starting to make dividends for the Griffins now, trailing just by 7, 31-24, 2:10 to go here in the third.
And that's exactly what they needed to build momentum. They needed to see that first three go in, and what happened right after? They knocked down a second. 2 of their last 2 from 3. They're on an 8-0 run in the last minute and a half.
Again, the Badgers started this one out with a huge lead. A lot of three-pointers rained down thanks to Reiner. She has now put her point total up to 11, 4 of 6 from the field, and still has not shot a 3 since being perfect at 3 for 3. The Badgers have only been at the charity stripe one time, though, 0 for 1. But all around, 32 rebounds, 12 more than the Griffins' 20.
Bennington has now had 2 separate leads of 15 points.
This one inbounded as Bennington crossed the tie line. As Bobo Boy feeds it to Reiner at the right wing, she drives back to the top. She drives down to the left side, return pass over to the right side, back straight away at the top, driving right-hand dribble. That one on the ground as it rolled through. Johnson wanted to hit John in the paint, but couldn't do so. But the Badgers are lucky to retain the possession there.
Yeah, the pass just ricocheted off the foot of Graver, else that would have been another turnover for Bennington.
Bobo Boy inbound. Fighting for it in the corner with 3 left on the shot clock. Trifecta from the corner is over the rim, and we have a whistle blown as the shot clock violation. 1:40 to go here in the third, 31-24 Badgers.
2-minute plus scoring drought now for Bennington, and in that same time, an 8-0 run for Gretna East.
Elaine Graver drives down with the left hand as she penetrates the Badger D. Kicked back out. Graver thought about the 3. She drives through inside the charity stripe, pokes off a couple of hands. Fought for Love, potentially the last one to get a hand in, but a Badger does poke it out at the last second. And you can see Wade Coulter with the plastered Griffin logo all over his suit jacket, telling his team to calm down.
Wise words from Wade Coulter. There on the bench as his team trails by 7, but by no means is out of it.
As they kick it to the corner, driving is Love. She has to step back and goes to the Taryn French. Driving right-hand dribble, though, is Love from the corner. She goes inside. Kicked over Shelburne, the left wing. This is a driving French. Shot goes up from French with a left-hand layup that falls through.
Double-digit scoring run now for the Griffins at 10-0.
31-26, Badgers. They have to break the press as Reiner gets it across the tie line with a pass. Left corner now, left wing, trifecta on the way, splash! 34-26 Badgers. Here come the Griffins, straight away, kicks it, left corner. Thought about the 3, back to French on the left wing. As this one gets poked, she picks it back up, drives right-hand dribble. Searching to the left corner now. As it's brought back up. She's still now driving as Love in the left corner. Straight away now. This is Graver. Right-hand dribble towards the right wing. Lost the handle. It went off the knee of the Badger in Skylar Johnson there. And the Badgers, again, cannot come away. They're being held in their own end here with the shot clock off, Brady.
Well, for Bennington, on the other end, we go back to that 3. They were facing a 10-0 scoring drought against them. That's exactly how you end it. A huge three-pointer to pull them back ahead by 8.
As the Griffins with the shot clock off, 18. As Frederick to the left wing. Searching and now driving with 11. As going in was Shelburne, and she lost the handle, and it heads out. So the Badgers going to take back over here. 34-26, 10.2 to go. So there's definitely plenty of time for a Badger shot.
That's the last thing you wanted to do there if you were the Griffins. You know the shot clock is off. You can hold for last shot, and they went to the hoop too early, and the turnover leaves Bennington with 10 seconds.
Inbound to Bobo Boy, driving down the right side. At the right wing, kick out Reiner, straightaway 3 is good! The horn sounds to end the third, and Reiner continues to rain it down. 37-26, Badgers lead after 3. When we come back, we will crown a state champion. The Badgers well on their way to collecting it.